Alright, compositions of functions. Here we go. Let's look at these two functions when you have a lot of terms. F of x is x plus 2, and g of x is 4 minus x squared. These are not limited. No square roots, no denominators. So, evaluate f of g of x, and then do g of f of x for the numbers 0, 1, 2, and 3. Well, the first thing I would do is, see now I have to do a whole bunch of numbers? I'm going to go do this here. I'm going to go to this first one, f of g, which means do the g part first and then plug it in the f one. So notice, I'm going to put this 4 minus x squared in this equation. So I'm going to rewrite this x plus 2, but instead of x I'm putting parentheses, and guess what I'm putting in the parentheses? 4 minus x squared. And if I simplify that, it will simply be negative x squared, and you can barely see maybe the 6. I don't know if you can see it on the video or not. It says plus 6. Just running out of room here. Screen's not big enough. So negative x squared plus 6. So now what I'm going to do is this. So now to do f of g is 0. It'll be negative 0 squared plus 6, which will be 6. I'm going to do it for 1. That'll be 1 squared, make it negative plus 6, which will be 5. This will be 2 squared, make it negative, which makes it negative 4 plus 6 makes it 2. So this will be 3 squared, make it negative, which will be negative 9 plus 6 makes negative 3. Or, and I know I evaluated all those numbers there, or I could have done this way. Plugged in the g function first, 4 minus 0 squared, which will be 0, which will be 4. And now plug 4 in that one. What's 4 plus 2? 6. Do the g function for 1. I'm going to have 4 minus 1 squared, which will be 3. Plug 3 in the x plus 2 function, which makes it 5. Now I'm going to do it for 2. I have 4 minus 2 squared. It's going to be 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Plug the 0 into this one. 0 plus 2 is 2. And now I have to do it for the 3. I have to do the 3 squared, which will be 9. 4 minus 9 is negative 5. Plug negative 5 in this. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. Now, I can plug it in one, then the other, or I could find a shortcut version by plugging this into it to begin with. And now, if I have a lot of numbers to do, I like to do this. Plus, I could also use the y equal button on my calculator and make it really, really easy to do that. All right. Now that was just the a part, f of g. It also asked me to find what? G of f. Now notice, here's f of g. And f of g doesn't always equal g of f, and I think I got my answer a little bit ahead here. But anyway, now I'm going to do, that was f of g. So to do g of f, I'm going to do the f function first, which is x plus 2. And I'm going to plug it in the g ones. I have to do 4 minus. Now, the quantity x plus 2 squared, which means I have to FOIL. So, and if I FOIL this, outside terms will be x, the first terms will be x squared. The outside term would be 2 times x. Then I have the inside, which is 2x. And 2x plus 2x makes 4x. And 2 times 2 makes 4. So I would have this. Now I have this 4 minus this, which basically means the 4's are going to cancel. And I just have x squared minus 4x. I don't know if you can see it all, but it's x squared minus 4x. So now plug in the 0. Well, that's going to be what? Negative 0 squared, negative 0 minus 4 times 0 is going to be 0. Plug in the 1. 1 squared is going to be negative 1. Minus 4 times 1 is going to be what? Negative 5. Now this one here, 2 squared is going to be negative 4. That's going to be minus 8, which will be negative 12. You can't hardly see the negative 12. It's negative 12. And then if I do it here, that's going to be 9, make it negative, minus 12. Minus 9 and minus 12 are going to be minus 21, which is really hard to see. You can maybe see the 1 shining way up over there. Notice 6, 0, 5, negative 5, 2, negative 12, negative 3, negative 21. F of g does not equal g of f. Now sometimes it does, and then those are special ones. But on this particular one, it does not. So f of g did not equal g of f.